Alrighty, and welcome back to episode 26 of the Comics Run Order podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mateo, and like every week, I'm accompanied by
Frankie, how's it going? How have
pretty
you been?
good.
I know you just started school up again.
Yep, and it's already a headache. I made the grave error in parking my car like super far away because I have to go to the gym first, like in the morning. In like the gym compared to my school is like a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks away. And I thought it would be like I don't know, not as long as it was because it was also like hot and I was sweaty, so it was not ideal.
Yeah, I haven't started back school up yet, but I've had COVID, so
Nice.
it's kind of messed up our schedule a little bit.
Yeah.
And it sucks because my mom came to visit and we were gonna go see Blue Beetle. I didn't get to end up seeing it because of COVID. We were gonna go see Blue Beetle together. We both got COVID.
Damn.
I'm just starting to be able to kind of taste food again, so
Oh yeah.
that was the worst part of it.
Dude, when I had COVID, when it was like really bad, like during like the lockdown and stuff, I couldn't taste or smell anything properly for like 8 months.
Yeah, it's and now it's like kind of like playing with my head. I'm eating something and I'm like, well, can I taste it though?
Yeah.
Like I don't even like know. I'm like tricking
Yeah.
myself out.
That's what like I got COVID like 3 times, and the third time I got it, I got like we ordered this pizza. It was like buffalo chicken pizza, and it looked so good. When I ate it, I couldn't taste anything. So I was like, "Yeah, this is great." So I was kind of just like gaslighting myself for like I
This
can
is
actually taste it.
this is the third time I've gotten it, and it was the first time I've never been able to taste. And when me and my mom went out to eat, it was the day we were gonna see Blue Beetle. I was like, Mom, I can't taste this food. I was like,
No.
and we were both we thought it was allergies. We thought it was like
Yeah.
seasonal allergies. I was like, I can't taste this. And she was like, all right, let's go get a test kit.
Damn.
So,
That's
but I've
rough.
gotten to read a lot of comics.
That's good. That's always like a one up.
Yeah.
So I mean, speaking of which, got to propose this question every time we start off the podcast. What are you reading, watching, / playing?
I am finally finished playing Zelda.
Okay.
After this long, I mean, it's a huge game. I mean, there's still things I could do, but it's a game I'll probably come back to and play the rest of my life. So I've done all the main quests, all the most of the side quests. I've done most of the content. So I'm gonna be done with with that as I get ready to platinum Spider-Man, both Spider-Man games.
Nice.
And then I read Andy Diggle's Daredevil, which has the
Okay.
Shadowland event. Thumbs down.
All right. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad. It's and then I read. It takes place right after. It's called Black Panther: The Man Without Fear, and it's when
Okay.
T'Challa basically takes over for Daredevil in
Oh shit.
Hell's Kitchen. It's
Damn.
It was good. That was good. I enjoyed
It
that.
sounds really, really dope.
Yeah, it's cool. The artwork is so good.
Damn.
And then now I'm reading Mark Waid's Daredevil.
Sick. That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What
about you?
Reading. I've been reading The New Gods by Jack Kirby. I'm pretty sure I said that last episode. I'm still reading it. I'm taking it little by little because I just kind of want to like read one issue a day, just like fully like digest everything that's going on in the issue because it's great. It's like one of my favorite runs. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, the story finally. So it's really, really good so far.
Good, dude.
It's so good. And then I know that the new season for Fortnite just dropped, so I've been playing Fortnite too. And I haven't been really watching anything. I've been trying to do like watching like more movies because I haven't watched like a lot of like the most popular movies. Like I haven't watched Godfather, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings, I haven't watched like any of those. But
Godfather's one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh really? Yeah, because I mean like all like the top 10 best movies of all time, I probably had seen like one or two of them. So I'm trying to diverse myself out of same movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, So today's episode is going to be fully Blue Beetle centric. We're talking Dan Garrett Blue Beetle, Ted Cord Blue Beetle, and obviously Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. So the way we structured this is basically the same thing what we did for our Kang episodes. You haven't checked that out? Make sure to do that. It was like our baby phase of the podcast was great. So this time I read two older issues. I read one from the 60s and one from the 80s. And Frankie read one from 2006 and 2011, and then we both read the newest Blue Beetle comic, Blue Beetle Graduation Day. I saw the movie. I thought it was okay. Like, it just felt like very cookie cutter for me. Some of the things I really did like was like the CGI wasn't like terrible like how it was for the Flash. So that's good.
Okay, that's a positive. Did the
Yeah.
suit? Does the suit look as good as it does in the
Oh yeah,
trailers? Does it? Okay.
the suit was really badass. I love how it's practical. It looks really good. I like it how whenever he like makes a weapon, how it just looks cool. I think the strongest aspect of this movie is definitely the family moments and like just like Jaime's family in general, because I don't know if it's just me for like my Hispanic background, but it really cut deep. It was really like nice to see it, and this isn't like a relationship that's like very like one dimensional. It's like layered. Each of the family members play a different role in the progression of Jaime's character throughout the movie, especially George Lopez's character, which is basically Jaime's uncle, which kind of reminds me of my uncle. um, but yeah, I think that's like its strongest aspect as a movie. But like, it's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Um, I saw this one guy who posted. I don't know. It was like on Instagram or Twitter, but he predicted this like the exact layout of how the movie was. Introducing the villain, introduce Jaime and his family, cut back to the villain, then the villain and Jaime scrap for a little bit, and then Jaime loses, and then he gets captured or whatever, and then he goes and saves the day. It's just like the same usual structure.
Yeah. I feel like that's been the problem with DCU movies for a while for me. Like good
Yeah,
characters, like the surrounding cast is really good, but the plot always just kind of
yeah. I mean, like it's just I was. It was just it was so like basic. The villain. I think I forgot her relationship. She's a Cord, and she's like I think Ted Cord's sister or something like that.
Oh, the one from Graduation Day?
Oh, I think so. It might be but
Because
I'm
they
not.
make her look like she's gonna be bad, but then
Yeah.
it's like a twist where it's like, oh, she's actually good.
Oh no, she's bad in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and she has like some lines that are like so cheesy, so cliche. I'm like, come on, like just give us something new, something else. And like I don't know, it's okay. The big brute, Carapax, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Whatever, the guy in like the big red machine.
Yeah, he's in the trailers.
He was like, again, your basic henchman, bodyguard type thing with that Jaime has to overcome or whatever. But yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what I expected. I mean,
yeah,
from the trailers, I mean, I could tell it was just kind of basic. Like, I guess I'm excited for it because I think the suit looks really good, and I do think the characters look really good. I feel like DC's been good with that, been like doing really good characters, but just never
yeah,
nailing the plot. Plot's always just kind of like
yeah. It's always like,
something happens. Like it's
yeah, and it's like I don't know. There were obviously two post credit scenes.
What are they? What are they?
You want to know what they are?
Tell me.
So first one. Ooh, let's see. Do you mind if I like spoil the movie, or you want me to hold off?
You can spoil it. You can spoil it. You can spoil
Okay,
it.
okay. So basically, Ted Cord's been missing, presumed dead, like always. And lo and behold, there's a transmission coming in. Someone announcing that Ted Kord's actually alive. Whoa!
All right.
Uh, and the last one's more of like an homage to more of like the parents of like Hispanic children, because there's like one specific show that's like super popular, and it's like a claymation of that, and that's just
Okay.
like the second post credit scene. So it's more of like a deep cut for like Hispanic parents and all that stuff. And I kind of assumed it was gonna be like not like a serious one, just like a little gag thing. But you know, it was nice overall.
Cool. Ted Kord. Okay.
Yeah,
He's alive.
he's oh no, who to suspect that the presumed dead character is actually alive?
I wouldn't think that they would have two Blue Beetles. I wouldn't think they'd do that, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I guess maybe we'll see.
I'm excited for it. I like Ted Kord, so it's gonna be interesting how that dynamic kind of plays out. If
Yeah.
it's if it's similar to what we see in Graduation Day,
Yeah.
or yeah, something like that. So
Or would you give it out of 10? The movie.
10. I'd probably give it like a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm seeing everywhere on like Twitter, TikTok especially, people were saying it's like the greatest DCU movie they made. I'm like, you calm down there, buddy. It's like, nah.
There's
And
always going to be those people, though.
I know, and it's like so many of them saying like, oh yeah, it's the best one, like hands down, it's the best one. I'm like, I don't know about that. It's not terrible. It's not like horrible or anything, but
So the Flash is better.
yeah. In my opinion, I mean, I really like the Flash, so I do think it's better. This, oh man, should I say this? Impromptu hot take. All right, we gotta say it. I know a lot of people hated this movie, but I really, really liked it, and I just think that Shazam: Fury of the Gods is better than Blue Beetle.
I guess. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was okay. I mean, I could see myself liking those two movies about the same.
Yeah, and it's like so weird because like on Twitter, everyone's saying like Shazam: Fear of the Gods is one of the worst movies released this year, like one of the worst DCEU movies released thus far. I'm like,
It wasn't
I
that
don't know.
bad.
Yeah, I'm like, I really like it. It's probably just because of my Shazam bias. But yeah, that's my hot take and my review of Blue Beetle.
Okay. That's about what I'm expecting to feel, honestly. I feel like I'm just going to be like, okay.
Yeah,
Like, that's why I wasn't even like that upset I couldn't see it. I was like, all right.
like oh well.
It is what it is.
A movie that did like better than Blue Beetle was Gran Turismo. It was
If I
actually,
see that movie trailer one more time, I'm going to lose it. I can't take that.
I know it was like a big meme, and I saw it, and like it was actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty like the racing scenes were shot really well.
I've raced
So
this track 1,000 times.
I
He
know.
says it about 100 times.
Well, at least now we can never see that trailer ever again.
True.
So thank
True.
God. Alrighty. So let's talk about comics. I'm gonna talk about the Blue Beetle issue number 2 from 1968 by Steve Ditko. So if you guys don't already know, Steve Ditko co-created characters like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and he went on to write. I don't know if he created Blue Beetle. I think he did. Blue Beetle. So at the time of this series being published, it wasn't actually owned by DC, but owned by another company called Charlton Comics. So there's that. It's very Silver Age. It's very Silver Age, and what took me out of it since Steve Ditko wrote and drew this, the way he drew Ted Kord was identical from how he drew Peter Parker.
Really?
Like, yeah, the face, the brown hair, like everything, like I thought like he was Peter Parker for a second because I was like, that looks just like Steve Ditko's Peter Parker. Um, but I'm a sucker for like silver, bronze age artwork, so I didn't mind it. I liked it. So basically, the plot goes: Ted Kord is being accused of killing Dan Garrett. So Ted Kord, as the Blue Beetle, goes to Pago Island, where the events that we're about to discuss unfolds, and then for some reason, Ted Kord's girlfriend is on the island because he's trying to find evidence to clear Kord's name, but she doesn't know that Ted Kord is a Blue Beetle or whatever. So it was just like I don't know why she was on the island in the first place, but I'm like, okay. So in classic Silver Age fashion, Ted Kord, Blue Beetle, explains everything that happened that led to,
Of course.
in classic fashion. So basically, just to condense it all, Ted Kord was working for his Uncle Jarvis, and he unwittingly made nearly indestructible robots for his Uncle Jarvis's evil schemes. So when Ted Kord finds this out, he asks for the help of Dan Garrett to stop him. So obviously he agrees to. They go to the island. They get ambushed by the robots, taken in. Obviously, Uncle Jarvis unveils his master plan to them
Secret
directly.
evil plan, yeah.
Classic. So lo and behold, Dan Garrett has the little scarab thing, transforms into the Blue Beetle, and then they defeat Uncle Jarvis. And in the process, explosion, Dan Garrett dies, and then he basically makes Ted Kord continue on the title of Blue Beetle, which is pretty funny. He says, "You have to continue the title of Blue Beetle," and then Ted Kord's like, "How can I say no to that? Of course I have to." It's like, okay. So it's like fantastic. Then the robots come back. Ted Kord fights them. He struggles. He's using all his force, and then lo and behold, he defeats the robots. And then in classic Silver Age fashion, the last couple of panels show that the robots are not actually destroyed, but you're just dormant.
Mm.
Wow. So obviously, this is very like cookie cutter for a Silver Age origin story.
Yeah.
It's I mean, what can you expect from a Silver Age origin story? But yeah, it's yeah. I like
That's
just the
I mean
girlfriend being there is just like weird.
I mean the one that was originally Blue Beetle couldn't take out the robots, but the guy who just started being Blue Beetle could take him out.
Right. I was like,
That's
what?
just you gotta love the Silver Age,
It is
dude.
an
If
era.
you like the Silver Age, Mark Waid's Daredevil is honestly super Silver Age inspired.
Oh really?
Like, yeah, I think you would really like it. Like, just the writing style and everything. Like, it's really it's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like the Silver Age with like DC and Marvel comics are very different in the sense of like just the way like how their stories are told. Because I mean, obviously this isn't DC, but like it's still we're just got called it's in like the DC universe or whatever.
Yeah,
Because I read both Marvel Silver Age and DC Silver Age, and I feel like Marvel Silver Age comics are a lot better compared to DC Silver Age stuff. Because I think I saw a video essay on this how like the DC Silver Age is more like super like sci-fi fantasy type things. Like it's like super obscure anthology stuff. And like and compared to Marvel Comics Silver Age, we get stuff like the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Black Panther, all those type of characters. They tell like a really grounded, uh, in a sense, relatable story. So
yeah.
if it's written like Silver Age, Daredevil, Marvel, then I sounds interesting.
I think Marvel's always been just a little bit more relatable, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
From just from the fact they have New York and actual real cities to the characters. I don't think That makes Marvel better though. Like I just think DC's always been a bit more like fantastical,
Yeah.
which is like there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, it's just like all depends on like the character and like how
Yeah.
the character is written. Um, but if I had to choose between Marvel or DC Silver Age, it's Marvel, like almost all the time.
Okay.
Next, Bronze Age, Blue Beetle. Now this is where the rights of Blue Beetle is now in DC. So this is Blue Beetle issue number 1 by Len Wein and Paris Cullins. This is a lot better, obviously, but not totally, because it still has like it still has very Bronze Age stuff, very Bronze Age stuff. So Blue Beetle Ted Cord comes out of retirement and fights this arsonist called Fire Fist.
Okay.
So he's like burning a building down. Blue Beetle comes in and saves the day. People are like, "Oh my god, it's a Blue Beetle out of retirement!" Classic stuff. What I thought was interesting is once Blue Beetle defeats Fire Fist, he goes back to like his beetle cave or whatever, and that's what I call it, the beetle cave.
Beetle Cave.
He just like starts reminiscing about the issue that I just talked about like their mission or like what they did and whatever, and they did retcon some things. So in the original 1967 issue of Blue Beetle, compared to this one, and this one, the 1986 one, it shows like basically everything that happened, but they did change the fact that Dan Garrett, he grabs the scarab and says Kaji Da, which is like the name of the scarab, obviously. But like in the original one, he just grabs his little beetle thing and then just transforms. So it's like said in this one, the 1986 one, it's a mystical scarab. For in comparison to like the original one, it doesn't really say anything about that. And and then also retcon the fact that when Dan Garrett is fighting the robots, he's shooting like lasers out of his eyes, like beams out of his eyes. I'm like, what? I'm like, this didn't happen. So I guess they just kind of retconned it, obviously because it was from a different company, and they kind of want to have the scarab have like these mystical powers that are like unknown or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I like how they kind of tweaked that and like emphasized the scarab a little bit more. So what the issue is basically just like we see Ted Cord at Cord Industries and like how he works. He has a relationship with one of the scientists. They have a little thing. It cuts to Carapax, which is, as I said earlier in the movie, it's like one of the main villains. Carapax goes back to the island, or it goes to the island where like everything happens, and then he's about to search the island, and then one of the panels cuts to like one of the dormant armors that's been made. So it kind of like alludes to like what's going to happen later on in the series. And then we cut back forward to Ted Cord and his friend Takamoto, who's like old roommate of his, showing him this new metal that's like super durable. And then this janitor was like scheming something or whatever. It was like so weird. I'm like, which I think is Fire Fist, which is gonna be the big twist later on in the series. But who knows? It's probably is the case. And then the death of Dan Garrett is revitalized in the sense of like this Lieutenant Max Fisher wants to investigate it more because he thinks that someone killed him. So that sets up more of what's going to happen later on in the series. And then the final section of the issue, Firefist comes back, fights Blue Beetle, and then ends with who knows if Blue Beetle's got to survive, being buried under rubble that's on fire. And like, is he gonna survive? His issue number 1.
Is he gonna survive?
Check out next issue. It's like he's obviously gonna survive. But yeah, I mean it is better in every single sense compared to the 1967 version. The artwork is a lot better. I really like 80s and 90s artwork a lot. It kind of like reinvigorates what happened in the previous Blue Beetle run, adds some stuff to it. We get introduced to Ted Course, like his friends, his coworkers, whatever, and it sets up like further plots for the story. But yeah, it was pretty decent.
All right. Interesting. I don't have like too much to say about mine because they were both kind of similar, and I mean, I will say they both look like they're really good series. I would like to read both at some point.
Yeah.
They both look really good, but they're just kind of standard issue ones. The 2006 one thing we see in both is like, and the same as the trailer, is how like the scarab goes on his back and he's like, he's
Yeah.
like, in one of the, I don't even remember which series, it like kind of like disappears into his back. It's like slightly different, but also kind of the same. And in the 2006 one, it's the classic trope of like, he like just gets the powers, but like he doesn't know what's going on or where he is, and he just so happens to be fighting Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. And he can't figure out why, but all the superheroes are like really mad at him, or they want to kill him. And Kyle Rayner's even like, I don't even know why I want to, but like something about you makes me mad or something. But
fair enough.
But it like goes back and forth between him and his friends and family to him fighting Kyle Rayner. It's interesting. Like the art is really, really good. It's kind of simple, but really effective, and I really liked it. And then with the 2011 New 52, the New 52 art was just so good. Like just across New 52 art is just it never misses. The beginning of this issue is awesome. It's like a flashback. I don't even know when, just way back. It's like the Scarabs basically waging war on like this alien race.
Okay.
And then it shows how it somehow gets to Earth. And then, of course, gets to Jaime Reyes. The way he gets the Scarab is like really kind of just dumb, but like it's something like there's these bad guys trying to get this backpack. He doesn't even have the backpack, but he for some reason like opens it and then it just goes on to him. It's a little it makes no sense. It actually makes no sense. I had to I went back and reread it. I was like, how the hell did that happen? But I read a little bit of issue 2 because it was just really intriguing, and it kind of looks like how it probably is in the movie, where it shows like from his viewpoint, like the Scarabs like showing who people are, and like he's like, what is this? And they're both really good. Like I definitely want to read both series. I think they're both relatively shorter too. So yeah, I think the 2006 one is like the first series of Jaime Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely am gonna go back and eventually read those, but nothing like major to really talk about. His character is pretty much the same in both, just like the way he acts at least. And like I said, the Scarab, the way it like goes onto his back, reminded me of the trailers. And yeah, overall, they were good.
So you had a better time than I did.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely good issues, but I mean, I will admit, like they were very standard, like nothing super, like nothing that really hooks you, but definitely good.
I mean, that's like the thing, and we'll talk about it in a second with Graduation Day, that like I was like worried, and like the movie I thought was okay. Reading Graduation Day, I thought it was like okay. And I remember messaging you. I was like, "Did you like this?" Because like I thought it was like okay.
I mean, I kind of just ended up thinking it was okay. I was enjoying myself while reading it, but like overall, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, since we're talking about it, might as well just cut into it. So I kind of did like a little review on League of Comic Geeks, and if you guys aren't on League of Comic Geeks, definitely go there. It's really good, really awesome place to be. Yeah, basically I didn't really wasn't really a big fan of it. It's just basically so. Just to like condense it, Jaime Reyes just graduated high school, and then something happens where the scarab kind of shuts itself off in the sense of it doesn't communicate to Jaime in the way he can understand it, and we get different beetles in a sense coming to attack Jaime, and it was like the Reach is coming back, which is the alien race that you just talked about, where like the scarabs can like or like enemies with or whatever. Um,
The scarabs are like this. Well, from what I understand from the 2 issues I read in Graduation Day, the scarabs are bad. Like the Reach
mhm.
is where the scarabs come from, and they are bad.
Yeah,
But Jaime was able to make the scarab like see his way, and now they like work together, and you know what I mean, like
yeah,
for the greater good.
yeah. Because like the scarab was originally meant to like choose a host, and that host via the scarab uh takes over the world essentially. Then Jaime, through the power of kindness or whatever, changes the scarab's mind, and then he's okay now.
I mean, the Reach, like in a way, kind of remind me of the Viltrumites. Like they send a thing,
Yeah,
they send a thing to a planet. He then takes over that planet for the Reach. I was like, okay, Viltrumites,
yeah.
cool.
Um. Okay. I'm gonna start off with talking about the story. Then I'm gonna move on to the artwork, which is
Oh wait, I liked the art. I liked the
I
art.
I like the art, but just the way that the faces were drawn most of the times were really weird.
The faces are very anime inspired a lot of the
Yeah.
time. They're like a lot of the time they're very anime, but or at least with their expressions. But
Yeah.
I do agree, like Superman's resting face was a weird one.
Dude, his mouth was huge. His mouth his mouth was huge. I was like I was just sitting there. I'm like, why is his mouth so big?
I mean, the resting faces sometimes were a bit off. The expressions were very anime, but
Yeah.
overall, I really like the art.
Yeah, when it came to like the landscapes and like the big pages, the artwork was really good, really well drawn. I really like the coloring and how they did like
Very
the
bright.
shading and lighting. Yeah, they did Starfire very dirty in the sense of they gave her
They,
a schnoz.
I do agree that they did Starfire really dirty.
They gave her a ridiculous schnoz that might rival Mikey's, but I mean, it is. I think it is probably at the same degree as Mikey's or Donnie's schnoz. So, yeah. The artwork is good. It's great in like the bigger and like
Yeah.
landscapes. But just like the faces kind of like took me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that.
Um, I don't know about for you for the 2006 2011 run, but did he have the soul patch in those runs?
I don't even remember.
Because
I
like,
think he does in 2006. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't remember.
cause like, I thought the soul patch was so stupid.
I didn't mind it.
I was like, who at the age of 18 has a soul patch?
True, true. That is true.
So I was like,
I liked him moving to an entire different city.
yeah,
I thought that was a fun like way for the comic to go or a
nice
character
little
to go.
change of pace.
Yeah, I like that.
So basically, the reason why he goes to New City is because his parents, basically everyone around him is like pissed off or like questioning, hire me, like what are you gonna do now? You gonna get a job or you go to university? What are you gonna do? And he's like, I don't know. So his parents basically just send him to his aunt's place and to run their diner. And then obviously Jaime hates it, and then I'm just I'm blanking because like there's like it's so weird because different heroes show up and they're almost every one of them or like is like against Jaime. So like
Superman tells him he's grounded, which was a
yeah,
weird moment. I didn't know how to feel about that.
yeah. I'm like, and it's also like that same trope where like the bigger heroes tell like the lesser known, smaller heroes to stop what you're doing, and then at the end they go against the bigger heroes, and then they end up being the ones in the right.
Yeah, because I was like, if there's anyone you should talk to, it's probably like Jaime. Like
Yeah,
he can help you the most with this issue or tell you the most about. Because basically, what's happening is like they're getting a signal. They think it's the Reach. It ends up being like the Horizon, which is like a sect of the Reach, but they're like good guys.
yeah,
And it's actually like a distress signal. But like if it was the Reach, like why wouldn't they want to talk to him? Like he could give them possibly the most
right.
information to help
Yeah,
them out the most.
since he is linked to it
Yeah.
in a sense. So, um, yeah, I mean, like Batman kind of plays like into that role. I feel like I felt I've seen this before, where Batman takes like the approach of you stay put, we'll handle it, and just kind of like the basic stuff. I like Ted Cord in this, how he just gives Jaime like the opportunity to like prove himself, but then like that falters later on in the story.
Yeah, Ted Cord's pretty great. Like I said earlier, they make his sister look like she could be a bad guy
Yeah.
with the purple cape person, but like it ends up she's not. I thought that was because I was like, oh, she probably is a bad guy, but
Yeah.
she's not. The part, maybe my favorite part, is when Jaime kind of screws up. He like goes against his sister, but turns out she's good. And then he's like to Ted Cord, he's like,
Oh my god.
Are you gonna tell Batman?
It was like his watery eyes.
Are
He's
you
about to cry.
And it's like Ted Cord's like, he's Batman. He already knows. He knows.
Which is true. Which is very true.
I like that part.
How did you feel about the other Beatles? I know there was. Yeah, they kind of sucked.
I posted about this on League of Comic Geeks because of this comic. I'm so tired of superhero families. Like,
yeah,
I know like they're in a family, but you know what I mean, where it's like you've got the Bat family, you got the Shazam family, we've got the Beetle family, where I knew as soon as they came into the story, I knew they were going to turn good and be like the Beetle family with like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just so tired of superhero families, and it's just getting old. Like the good ones are really good, the Bat family, I like the Shazam family, but I don't know. It's being really overdone right now, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I know there was like the yellow Beetle and then the green Beetle.
Yeah, kind of like Power Rangers.
Yeah, basically, because the green Beetle was the one who can like morph into like different things, right? Or they can just grow and shrink in size or whatever.
Sure.
And like I think they just try to give like those characters, like the hosts of like those Beatles, some like character moments, which it just didn't really land for me. I'm like, okay, like kind of like generic, whatever.
For me, it just automatically makes Jaime a less interesting character because it's like now we have 3 Beatles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just very over the superhero family. Like it's not always bad, obviously. Like we have great ones, but
yeah, it's just like there are some heroes that don't need a family.
Yeah,
like they can just be on their own. They can have other people in their group, but not like a family of like all of them.
It makes like the whole thing like a lot less relatable. Like I feel like it makes Jaime now a lot less relatable because like people could probably relate to him, and now they're like, well, I don't have a bunch of superhero friends that like, I don't know.
Yeah. How did you feel? 2 things. The first one is armor upgrade that he gets at the end once he realigns with the Scarab. He finds out that the Scarab's afraid. It wasn't Jaime.
I thought that was cool. I thought the armor upgrade was cool.
I was like,
I didn't think much of it.
I was like, Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, cool, we got a
Yeah,
armor upgrade. Great.
yeah.
I
Like
mean,
I was,
whatever.
I was just like, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, who cares? And the other thing is with the, I think it's Palmyra City they're in or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah,
something city in
something. Yeah,
Florida. Was it in Florida?
I don't
I
think
think
so, but
I
it
don't
could
know,
be.
somewhere.
It's somewhere.
um, the Horizon gets to Earth. They're all like preparing for battle or whatever, and they're like, "Can we live here?"
Yeah, can we just live here?
I'm like, "Okay." Like,
And I
fair
love
enough.
how like they just let Jaime decide that. Like that's probably like a big deal to just let an
Yeah,
alien race live on Earth. He's like, I got it. Like
yeah. I'm sure that'll,
we thought they were gonna kill us all, but like it's good now. Like
oh, they're good. You can stay here. I'm like, all
my
right.
my actual biggest issue was the Justice League helping at the end, and they're like, "You got this, Jaime." They're like,
Oh my
"You do it."
god.
It's like, no, Superman, you just go do it. Like
Yeah,
he'd like I mean, this thing is going to crash like into the earth and kill like maybe millions. And
yeah.
they're like, "You've got it," and he like does this huge blast, and it's like Superman could have just like picked that thing up and like set it.
Superman, Shazam, Green Lantern. Anyone could have done it. It's
Dude, like people are gonna die. Like this isn't like a oh, it's his character moment. Like
nah.
I feel like them being in it really like dragged it, and it could have been a really interesting ending if like
Yeah,
they weren't there. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, why are they letting him like save this ship, please? Like,
I want a comic that to happen, and then it's just like fails completely,
yeah.
and they're like, "Ah, man, we should have helped."
The world asks, like, why didn't you do anything? Well,
Were
we
you?
wanted the we wanted the kid to.
We wanted the kid to have his moment. I'm like, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
and now we have a 2 million death toll. So,
right. Just like you do, you buddy. That Cape character that you mentioned was it Vanish? I don't fucking know.
the cave character basically, I mean, it's a setup for whatever's about to happen in Blue Beetle #1.
Yeah,
That's basically what that character was like, because at the end of the comic, there's some kind of setup. So like
yeah,
they don't
something
really
like
serve any purpose in this miniseries.
yeah,
So
yeah. They did hire them for the heist thing at Court Industries or whatever, and then lo and behold, they betrayed Jaime and
yeah,
oh, I forgot his friends were in there too.
yeah, they just show up. They just show up. They're like, we're here.
We want to support you. I'm like, get out of here.
Why are you here?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't
The
know.
reason I ended up liking this like somewhat is I really liked the message of like Jaime's like I really don't know like where
Yeah,
I'm going, like what I'm doing in life. I really like that. I can relate to that. He was just like I
definitely.
don't know like what the hell I'm doing in life. So I liked that a lot. Um I kind of like just the overall energy of the comic. Like it was a very fun comic for the most part. Um but yeah, the story it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I
I
like
don't know.
I like the idea of there being a sect of the Reach that's like good though.
Yeah,
Um, as far as the other scarabs, I thought that was lame, but
yeah, and I think at the end, at like the last page or whatever, it says like, make sure to follow up, Scarab Wars or whatever, like the next like
ass.
event. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna check that out, buddy. I'm like, no way.
I'll just go back and read the 2006 and New 52 ones if I want to read Blue Beetle.
I'll just go back to and read the 1967 Blue Beetle if I want to. Nah, I don't think anything would make me do that unless it's obviously for the podcast.
Yeah,
All right.
but I would give it a 3-star
No.
rating because like I said, I like the energy. I like the art. I liked the message. And I think it had good ideas. Uh, and I really liked Ted Cord and Jaime
Yeah,
and their relationship. I actually really liked Ted Cord's sister here. I thought she was really interesting. Um, but the introduction of the Beetle family is a huge thumbs down for me. And the Justice League
yeah,
just should not have been as like in this as they were. Like they
definitely.
really shouldn't have been in it
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. I mean, on League of Comic Geeks, I give it a 2.5 out of 5, and
Are you
I'm
sticking
waiting
with
on.
that?
I might lean it to a two and a just a two,
Damn.
just a 2 out of 5. But I don't know. I don't know. 2.5 star out of 5. It's
Okay.
not a. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted to like Blue Beetle a lot, both the movie and the comics. Because after the movie, I was like, I didn't really like that, but I'm sure the comics will provide something. I was like, on my graduation day, because it has like a 4 out of 5 on League of Comic Geeks. A lot of people are saying it's so good. And I was like, nah.
I think you would like both the series I read. Now,
Yeah,
I obviously have only read one issue, but I feel like those are probably good. I would bet on New 52 being better. Um, but those are two I'll definitely check out at some point. I think you would probably like those two.
yeah. I'll probably check out the 2006 one first. Because I'm just praying that I'll come to like Blue Beetle, but and not just Jaime Blue Beetle, but also Ted Cord. But then again, I've barely read anything of Ted Cord Blue Beetle. Obviously, just one issue out of the two series from the 60s and the 80s, and obviously him and the graduation day. So I
My
feel like
favorite iteration of Blue Beetle so far, Injustice 2.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I should have worn my Blue Beetle shirt. I have it like a Blue Beetle shirt where it's like there's like side profiles and it's like designed as like a Beatles album cover. It's so cool. But I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
I think he
um
could have even if his movie is mid, like you said, he could potentially have a bright future in the
oh
DCU.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen that with different characters in the MCU, and I feel like we can get a lot
True.
of that in the DCU. So, last but not least, we got one more thing to do, and that is the mini wheel spin.
Did you pick a replacement for the Dark Knight Returns?
I did.
Uh oh. Oh,
It
what is
was
it?
my friend Dahmer.
Oh yeah, you did. My friend
Yeah.
Dahmer. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
It's I read it like twice, right? But like the second time I read it was like 2 or 3 years ago. But there is a movie based on it, and I watched the movie first. I liked it. Have you seen Austin and Ally from Disney Channel?
Yes.
The guy who plays Austin is Dahmer,
Okay.
which I was like, what? But I thought it was it was a pretty good movie. And then after I watched the movie, I read the comic. I thought the comic was better. Um, it's really interesting.
Int- Tommy Dahmer's. It's a.
The thing is that it's written and drawn by the guy who was like his classmate slash friend in a sense. I won't give too much away, but yeah, it's kind of written in his perspective in a sense, and his artwork is pretty unique. It's very like kind of like indie. Um, but without further ado, all right. So if you guys don't already know, this is the list so far. We got Superman, Kryptonite, Marvel Universe: The End, Hulk, Gray by Tim Sale, Thanos wins in Cosmic Ghost Rider, My Friend Dahmer, Mr. Miracle by Tom King, Green Lantern Earth One, Superman Brainiac, Cosmic Odyssey, and Underwater Welder. Let's get it. Three,
All
two,
right.
one. Okay.
All right. I saw this one. This one looks interesting. I'm excited
Un-
for this.
Underwater Welder is going to be our next little mini series you're going to read. It's not really a mini series per se. It's more like a graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's independent by Jeff Lemire, who is one of my favorite artists. Not artists. Well, he is an artist, and he's an artist and a writer. He writes and draws this. I'm pretty sure he is my favorite writer as of right now. So I love everything about him. Everything he's done is great. Underwater Welder is both written and drawn by Jeff Lemire. I really
Oh, he
enjoyed
draws it too.
this.
Okay.
It's his art is kind of like some people really like it, but some people really don't like it. It all depends on like how you take it in. It's really like sketchy. Like it kind of like little sketches here and there, but I like it. I like the way it sets like the atmosphere in his stories. But I'm excited to read it and review it.
I already know my replacement.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I made a little notes thing of my miniseries I want to, and I know the next one replacement, Batman Year One.
That's a really good one. That is a really good one.
I've never read it, so
you never. Oh yeah, you never read it.
I haven't read a lot of Batman.
That is true. I keep forgetting that.
You know what's my next pick after that?
Oh God,
The Dark Knight Returns 2 or whatever it is.
Oh no, The Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Yep.
Oh,
The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Oh yeah.
That one's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Damn. All right. Fair enough. All's fair for the wheel. Both long series and mini series. Everything is fair.
That one's as long as the first one, right? The Dark Knight Returns. Is it longer?
I don't even know. I try to block that comic out of my memory as much as I can.
I think it's the same length. Oh yeah.
The artwork is atrocious.
I'm excited. I'm super pumped.
Oh man.
But I gotta read Year One. I gotta read Year One before.
Yeah, you gotta have like a nice taste in your mouth with Batman, one of his best stories, and then just gonna plummet if that does come up next. But only time will tell. And in future episodes, if you guys want to check us out, read and review Dark Knight Strikes Again, whenever that happens, make sure you follow the podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at ComicsRTW. Even though I started school, does not mean we got drop in content. I'm going to make a lot of videos, draft them, and post them out throughout, different days. Keep content up and fresh. And yeah, do you have anything to say? Anything
to
add?
I mean, I've been doing no content because I've been sick, but I'm getting better again, and I'll hop back on the content train as well. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Again, if you guys want to, you should check us out on League of Comic Geeks.
Also, quick interruption. I got to do a 500 follower giveaway.
Oh yeah, we hit 500 followers on TikTok. We're halfway there to 1,000, and with 1,000 followers, we can go live and we can do stuff live from our TikTok account. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I have a lot of comics I need to sort in my boxes, and I'm literally waiting till 1,000 followers, and I'm just gonna do a live where I'm just bagging and boarding, and but yeah, I'm gonna do a 500 follower giveaway. I don't know what I'm gonna give away yet. I've got a lot of stuff to give away, so I'm gonna probably concoct that today, and maybe I'll announce it tomorrow. I don't know.
Alrighty, sounds good. I mean, you guys heard it here first. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff when we do get 1,000 followers. We might even do an episode live. Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
cool.
A fun idea.
Nice little live episode. Get everyone's live reactions on whatever we're talking about. That would be funny, because especially if we do like a hot takes things, or we could say like what I just said. I think Shazam: Fury of the Gods is better than Blue Beetle. Everyone's gonna be like, what? Like something like that. So I'm excited for the future. We're halfway, or a little over halfway, to our 50th episode, which is great, and we're a little bit over a quarter away from our 100th episode. So, only direction go is up.
Up.
We are up. Alrighty. Again, one last time, make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and on Twitter. Comics RTW. Make sure to check us out on League of Comic Geeks. Frankie, you're Freaky AM, right? On League of Comic Geeks?
Correct.
Alrighty, and I am Orion Scott on League of Comic Geeks. Whenever I read something, I like to post a nice little review on it. I'll let to go a little more professional on that one.
I know you're a good reviewer. I don't like doing reviews. I'm bad at it, but but I enjoy your reviews on there.
Thank you, thank you.
So yeah.
I mean, that's all I gotta say. We're all good. Make sure to check out next episode or review of Underwater Welder by Jeff Lemire, and we are going to talk about other stuff. So just make sure to check us out. Check out our previous episodes, and make sure to check out all our future episodes. And just remember that comics run the world. Peace.